Good evening and welcome back to another show of the Final Flight podcast, the Weighing Room Review, with another fantastic guest on tonight. Joe Mason, good evening. How are you this evening?
Yeah, really good. Thank you, everyone. How are you all?
Yeah, we're very good, thank you. Thank you for coming on, another fantastic jockey, another good guest to come on and give us some of your time and some of your fantastic insight. You definitely know a little bit more than we do. I can guarantee you that. Rich, Joe obviously has been on his travels. He's been here, there, jet setting everywhere. Are you, mate? Welcome back. Are you looking forward to getting stuck into this and probably Royal Ascot next week?
Yeah, definitely another good week of racing and then off to Royal Ascot. Can't wait, mate. I'm there Tuesday to Thursday, Monday Windsor. So can't wait for that one. Excited. Obviously, good to get you on as well. Brilliant.
Good man, Rich. Another decent weekend to look forward to look back on, and a couple more to look forward to. You ready for it?
Yeah, it's been good racing. It's all about Royal Ascot. Joe's obviously going, whereas having a wife and a kid obviously got other priorities.
We'll be stuck at the powerhouse back at home watching it on the TV, won't we? But yeah, anyway, let's crack on. Like I say there, Joe, what we don't like to do on this show is we just kind of have a bit of review of the weekend that's just been. We'll critique a couple of your rides. I'll get your sort of insight from your point of view of them rides and a couple of horses to follow, and then we'll give a couple of eye catches, and that'll do us if that's all right with you.
Yeah, no worries.
Lovely. Right. Well, we're going to crack straight on. We're going to go back to Beverley, the 2-year-old trophy, and the winner was Shareholder. Now, this was quite a tight finish in the end. I'll come to you, Joe, if I can. What did you make of the ride and what your thoughts on that horse going forward?
Yeah, look, he obviously, he's only just done it and got up on the line, but, if anything, he's probably done everything wrong and still won. So, sure to come on for that experience. He's only bought, what was it, a couple of weeks ago before at the Breeze Ups, and then running like that. So obviously he was quite impressive in the Breeze Ups. Was it Deauville that they got him from? So, look, to get him straight there. But like I said, I think in the preliminaries, it was brilliant. It's really chilled out, but slow away, probably ran a bit keen with the choke out and still managed to deliver and, got into a bit of a battle and got his head up on the line. So, that's the main thing. They've got a win under the belt, and obviously I think all aiming to Ascot, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good when they sort of make a purchase like that and they get the win first off the board. I'll come to you, Rich. Obviously, like Joe said there, got up sort of late on, did quite a few little bits wrong, a little bit of inexperience. I suppose you'd expect him to take a big step forward from that. What about yourself?
Oh, there's going to be some improvement, I'd imagine, come Royal Ascot. Like Joe said, very slowly away. I think he was drawn right on the outside, which I don't think is ideal at Beverley.
We know you don't like a wide draw, Rich. We know that, mate.
Not over the sprint at Beverley, no. I don't like that at all. But he was just class, wasn't he? I mean, he was very green. I don't think James Doyle got stuck into him as much as probably the other horse, Moving Force. So I think that's a good sign. I think he knew what he had under him. I think Moving Force is another good horse to follow for the rest of the season for sure. But yeah, Shareholder's very exciting. Be interesting to see what he can do next week at Royal Ascot. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be exciting. Joe, I mean, you're sort of fresh off the plane from Dubai. Did you manage to watch it and have you got an opinion on it, mate, on Shareholder?
Yeah, mate, I watched it. To be fair, I was pretty impressed the fact that Moving Force had already ran and won. So sort of had that, knew what the horse knew what he was doing compared to Shareholder, who did look very green, like Rich said there. I think James Doyle, furlong half out, thought he was probably going to be a bigger margin, the short head that won by, but there's definitely improvement in there. I think they've got quite a strong hand, don't they? One Racing. So yeah, that'll be very interesting. Like Rich says, I think Moving Force is another good one to take throughout the season. They pulled two and a bit lengths clear of the rest of the field. I think M2 were the classy horses, but I do think Shareholder has a lot of improvement left. The way he ran, head carriage, everything, just got to improve on that.
Yeah, definitely. I'd expect a big step forward, like we say there, and some really good points there. I'm going to swing back round them. I'm going to go to Haydock, the Leicester Piggott Fillet Stakes. I'll come back to you, Joe, if I can. Winner, Queen of the Pride for, I'll say a good friend of ours, but Osher Murphy was first on the show. Again, a short head first to Lady Bobber. I hope I haven't butchered that, but what do you make of that little battle and those two going forward?
Which Joe, you'll have to.
No, sorry.
Sorry, Joe Mason, take it away.
I was obviously at Beverley that day, so obviously, watching the racing, racing later. But look, he was obviously drawn quite wide. He made that decision to kind of go forward and then nip in, so actually got quite a good position really from the draw that he had right in behind the leaders. And look, he stuck to his task night. Yeah, it got a bit tight on the line, but was always doing enough. And I think he's bred by Roaring Lion, wasn't he? And I think in the race before was a Roaring Lion, so a few Roaring Lions coming out there. But yeah, look, listening to Roisin afterwards saying, he thinks, he's only ran 4 times, so 4 or 5 times, sure to improve again, and whether, it's a bit of a step up as well. But yeah, look, a win's a win, whether it's a short head or it's a half a length or more. So yeah, no, he's done that well.
Yeah, like I say, there 4 runs, second off the break and then getting the first. Rich, I'll swing back to you purely because obviously Joe mentioned the wide draw there. Another one that's coming from on the wing. You'll be spitting feathers at that, won't you, mate?
I'm not sure how dramatic it is at Haydock than it is at Beverley. But yeah, I thought it was a good win, actually, to be fair. Tracked the leader at the time. I actually think that Lady Bobber might have nicked it if the race was a little bit further. I thought
what an inch further.
Yeah, I thought what's the Ryan? I thought he's coming back at the line, but taking off away from the winner, stayed on very well and like I say, just held on. But I'd definitely take both of them out of the race. I mean, there were 2 1/4 lengths back to third, so yeah, I think it was a good race. I actually thought one just to keep an eye on. Moogie finished last at 80-1 for James Fanshawe, but if you rewatch it, I think it was about 2 out. He gets properly hampered and loses all momentum. I'm not sure how high he'll go, but I think you could definitely rate his performance up, and maybe in a lower grade race he might pop up potentially.
An extra eye catcher there from Rich, loving that. Right, I'm going to come to Joe number 2. That's what we'll call you, Joe. What's your opinion on the race, mate? Go on.
Yeah, Oshin's probably got the run of the race, hasn't he? Lady Bobber was slightly unlucky, but from what Oshin said after, I think he was pretty confident that she was just doing enough all the time. Like I say, it was a great ride, to be fair, from Oshin. I know a lot of jockeys can get stick, I think, pretty easily, but I think Oshin's got a peach there, to be fair. Lady Bobber might have been done by the good ground. If you look through recent heavy, won the listed fillies race in France on very soft. So that probably, the good ground probably didn't really suit her. But Oshin's horse ran a cracker at Goodwood on reappearance against Gathia Rosebones, and Sea of Roses was in third, who obviously we had Jason Watson on, and they rate pretty highly. So that form probably stands up well, and then obviously improved here as well. So, I think both horses in the top 2, Lady Bobber maybe on softer ground, Queen of the Pride can definitely step up again. So yeah, 2 there at least that you can take out throughout the season, in my opinion. Anyway, both stepped up as well for the run.
Good man, love it. Right then, so the last race then that we're going to do from the weekend is the John of Gaunt Stakes again at Haydock, and this time it was Tiber Flow that won the race. I might as well. I'll start with Joe Mason, if
Joe
I can.
Joe
number 1, the other number 1 Joe we need. So Tiber Flow won this race. Tom Marquand, who's riding out with skin at the moment. What did you make of this?
Yeah, look, I thought it was an impressive performance by the horse, really, considering what happened at York when I think it was clipped heels and probably did a triple backflip in the process of it. So to kind of come out of that, really, not only physically but mentally as well, it can take quite a bit to get over that. And listening to Mrs. Haggis afterwards, she mentioned that actually, it wasn't lame, so there was no veterinary work to do. It was just more physical and massages and kind of getting the treadmill and getting kept on fitness with that. So look, fair play to him. Stepped up to a 7, obviously it was a 6 at York. looking like he was about to make his move through them. And look, he's done that nicely. He really has.
I suppose a quick one there you mentioned there from your experience. If something like that happens in a race previous, does it take a lot of work to maybe get the horse's confidence back, do you feel?
Look, it obviously depends on the horse. Like they also mentioned in the post-race interviews that actually he's a really tough horse, and it didn't seem to bother him that much. But get a filly in the matter, it probably can, and it just depends on the horse, on what confidence they can lose from an incident like that. It was pretty horrific to watch. I was actually riding that day there, so you thought it was out and gone, but actually to come up from that and to come back in actually not long period of time with only physical just to get a massage and kind of get everything, she obviously stiff all on one side from where he obviously landed, but sorry, cat's involved. To get all involved, do you know what I mean? So actually to come back from that, really, look, it's obviously so dependent on the horse. But I think obviously the person who knows him riding out can kind of tell from that, if they've lost a bit of confidence, and you kind of do that at home, really. So, fair play to all the team there, really, to get him back onto the track and winning one.
Yeah, clearly a strong mentality for the horse then, as we've seen, to come back and win. Brilliant. I'll come to Joe number 2 then. I'll give you a chance, mate. What did you make of Tiber Flow?
Yeah, nice to see, isn't it? Obviously, at York, we had a couple that day, didn't we? A couple of not nice sort of falls and stuff like that. So it was nice to see one come out and win next time out. Look like 7 furlong is probably the trip now, in my opinion. Like Joe said, 6 furlong looked to be making his move at York when unfortunately coming down, but Tom Marquand made no mistakes. Not that he did make a mistake, but there was no mistake this time, and sort of got up comfortably, I thought. There was some decent horses in there. Quinault, had a very good run last year. Point Linus, Pogo in there as well, a former group winner. So yeah, a few good, nice horses in there. Tiber Flow, I don't think hasn't had many runs, but 7 furlong, looks like a decent trip, and you couldn't be more happy with that. And like Joe said, it's nice, and you said there, it's nice to see a horse mentally strong and mentally sure that he does like racing and wants to win. So that was brilliant.
Fantastic. Go on then, Rich. You can finish off with the that review of that race.
No, I just thought it was some effort. If you rewatch it, he's at the rear, and Tom has to switch a few times, and the gap does come for him, and he squeezes in between 2 horses and goes on and wins by a length. It was just a really good ride. I thought it was a good race, actually. I mean, there was only 2 lengths between 2nd and 6th. Like Joe said, there's some half-decent horses in there, Flight Plan, Point Linus, Pogo. So I think it's a good race to follow, actually. And he won it well. If you've not watched it, I'd definitely just go and watch and see how good how good it was, to be fair.
Fantastic. Right, well, that's it for the first sort of section of the show. What I'd like to do now is, Joe, if I can, Joe Mason, I'll drop down to Rich, and he's going to talk to you about a few of your rides, and we'll try not to critique you too much.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't kill me out too much.
No, so the first one we'll mention is Lord Protector for Ruth Carr.
Yeah.
I think you rode him a few times. I think
Chelmsford and ridden him twice now. The first time was actually at Redcar, not Redcar. Yeah, it was Redcar in the Zetland Hunt Cup. That's it. Came second in that on soft ground. Obviously, it's the first time I rode him there. Obviously, Jimmy's ridden him a couple of times. Came from Ralph Beckett's. I think they got him from an online sale. I'm not sure if he was unsold and kind of went from there. I think he's kind of had a bit of a renown for being a little bit tricky. So he's brilliant at Ruth's, really, because they turn them all out. They're so happy. And they all get that field time. But look, I spoke to Jimmy beforehand when I rode him at Redcar, and he just said, look, you'll go to start early. It's just a bit yucky when you get there, and it's just easier just to get off him at the post and just walk him round until you're about to go in. So that's what I did with him. Look, I've ridden him twice now. The soft ground, I said to Ruth afterwards, I said, God, I think he needed that soft ground, really, because it just seems to gallop, and it meant that they just they can't get away from me. So actually I was in an ideal position, rode him handy away, and we just kind of bumped into one of, was it Ed Dunlop's horses at Redcar, and kind of going into the Chelmsford race. I said to Ruth, like looking at the race, there didn't seem to be much pace, and knowing from when I rode him the first day that he just seems to gallop. I said I'll just jump to go forward, and if something wants to go, then so be it. And you know, actually the Charlie Johnson horse went forward, and I just kind of sat on his girths, and I thought we went a nice even pace the whole way. We quickened a little bit. Whether I probably should have took it on a little bit earlier and forced the pace a little bit more is another question. But look, he had that turn of foot, and he doesn't have a massive turn of foot, but he was really kind of coming back at the winner again on the line. So look, another big price. He's run a brilliant race. So whether they're trying to win at kind of a mile and a quarter and then maybe try a mile and a half with him, because look, I think he's a good addition to the team, and you know, it suits the way that they train.
No, perfect. I mean, he's provisionally entered in the John Smith Cup at York for next month.
Mile and a quarter, isn't it? Yeah.
Target.
Look, I haven't actually spoken to Ruth on the targets of him. Like I said, I rode him at Chelmsford, and he seems to have come out of it well. I'm not sure where's next for him. So yeah, we'll just have to see where she plans to go with him.
I mean, he's on a good mark. I think he's down to 91. I think he's one off 94. And has been rated in 98, I think, something like that. So
yeah,
he's well treated. No, good stuff. The next one we'll go to then is Atomic Mass. Finished 5th on debut at York.
Yeah.
I think was we there? I don't know if it was on the Saturday. But I think the form for that race is pretty strong. I mean, 4th and 7th have won next time out. I think the winner was Carl Burke. Yeah. I think he's a pretty decent horse. So I think there's potential there.
Yeah, definitely. Look, all our 2-year-olds end up coming on for the experience, really. You know, we do enough at home without having to absolutely bottom them at home. Do you know what I mean? You want them to obviously make it the race course. You know, he's really laid back at home, takes everything in his stride. What's he out of Havana Gold? So, and out of a mare called Fresh Snow, I think it was Godolphins, wasn't it? Look, like I said, even though he ran with a little bit of greenness, he's going to come on for the run. He jumped out, and actually what I was really pleased with him, he jumped out and he travelled with me, which some of us can get a bit lost with the speed early doors. Look, he kind of skipped over the road, and I just had to get him back onto the bridle, and I just kind of was one pace kind of towards the line in the last half furlong. But like I said, he's showing all the right attitude. Like I say, he's so straightforward, and he's sure to come on for the run. I think actually he's entered on Saturday at York. So whether he comes out again, I'm not sure if I am at York on Saturday now, or whether I'll be diverted to Leicester or Chester at the moment. So, but look, it'd be good to see how he comes on for that first run. But he seems to be absolutely fine at home. The girl that rode him out said, "Oh God, he took all of my arms today." Like he gave him. So actually, you know, he'll come on for the run definitely. All ours do.
Yeah, no, we'll keep an eye out for Saturday for sure, and hopefully you're on board doing the steering.
Oh, hopefully, I don't know. I think I might be diverted elsewhere, but it's always good to ride at York.
I know it's the new market of the north is what I like to call it.
It definitely is. Or the Ascot of the south.
Yes.
I think especially when you're from round here as well. Just I think, you know, growing up round York and then actually getting to ride round there, and it's such an amazing race course.
Oh yeah, it's top stuff quality. The last one I've got then is Reach. Finished 3rd at York against Botanical, which is quite a talked about horse, potentially like group class. But he just seems to run a solid race. I mean, I think he's up to a career high mark now, but he always seems to run, like I say, run his race, and
She's a she. She's a girl.
She, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no.
We always get that wrong on this podcast. Honestly, we get the names and the sex wrong all the time. Honestly,
she's a she. She's a woman. She's brilliant. They obviously got her from the sales quite cheap. You know, she's come with problems, and you know, the yard have been really good. You know, we've not over raced her. We haven't, and we've had to kind of wrap her in a bit of cotton wool, and sometimes, you know, getting into the racetrack, like last time, she probably wasn't 100% fit, but, you know, you've got her to the track, if that makes sense. You don't want to break them at home when you want to get them to the track. So look, she'll massively come on for that run. She looked very well with an extra few holes, hopefully lost on the girth since that run. So, you know, she's sure to come on for the run at York, and really in a really competitive race at York, she ran a brilliant race. She did.
Yeah. I mean, is she due to run Friday?
She's such a likeable mare.
Yeah, sure. Is she due to run Friday? Is she declared?
Yes, she is. She's declared on Friday. She is, yeah.
I'm there Friday.
You're there Friday. Trouble is, she wouldn't want the ground too soft. So I'm just not doing a rain dance. She always seems to run her best races on, say, good to firm, good ground. I know. I think we went Bath at the beginning of last season, and she just didn't seem to go on it. Like I said, she has got her problems, and they do wrap her up in cotton wool. And I think you kind of have to really go steady away and not, and we don't overwork her at all. So, we just got to get her to the track, and that's the main thing. But she's such a likable mare, and she tries. And like I say, she won so nicely last year at York, at the Sky Bet Ebor Festival. I was doing enough, and she's a classy filly.
I'm sure the sun will be out. It always is at York, isn't it, Rich and James?
I'm just looking. Apparently, Sporting Life have got it down as good to soft. So hopefully, there's not a lot of more to do.
Fingers crossed.
We'll be getting the umbrellas out between now and then. All
over York Racecourse, please. York's good though. To be fair, it does drain really well. They've got really good drainage, and when it does dry up, it dries up quite quickly. So, hoping it's not too soft.
Fingers crossed.
Is that more, Rich?
That's my 3, yeah. Unless you got.
I've got one I'd just like to mention if I can. It's actually declared for tomorrow. It's a horse called the Grey Lass. I've got a horse on my tracker that finished 5th behind the last run. So the run at Beverley, and then you rode her at Thirsk. I just want to get your thoughts on maybe that one tomorrow. I think
so. She's probably one of the most frustrating. I say frustrating horses. She just has a little bit of attitude. So the time before when I rode her at Catterick the first ride of the season, she probably just needed the run really. But last year we had problems with the stalls at Redcar when actually she was favourite, and she reared up and got a foot over the stall, so therefore she was a non-runner. We had to do a stalls test, and so she now goes in with a blind last minute. But she has this skillful technique that she shakes her head until the blind comes off. And then when the blind does come off, she then starts rearing. So she's one of those. She doesn't want the blind on too long. Anyway, she's then running the apprentice race, didn't she, at Beverley? On a Planis Roder. And, the starter said to me, do you think she'll benefit from going in last, maybe without a blind? I said, I think that might be okay for her. Anyway, again, still a sassy self, reared up, missed the break, and actually probably ran well considering to finish a close 3rd, wasn't it, there, actually with our other one that was 2nd. So then going into the Thirsk race, I thought, look, we've had 2 runs under our back now, and actually we end up getting a ticket with her, which means you can go in kind of towards the end, but we were going to go back to a blind last minute. So therefore she wasn't in long enough to do the head shaking to then get it off to then do the rearing. And she was an absolute saint until the stalls opened, and then she seemed to trip twice and all come down. So then it was kind of, in a 5 furlong race, you've missed the break, you've missed, you've missed your acceleration of speed, and then you're always doing the chasing. And, and especially at Thirsk that day, the ground was on the quick side, and everything just went flat out from the front and stayed going. So there was just no chance. So hopefully, if she behaves in the stalls and she jumps well, I think she would have a good chance. But she's at such a lowly mark that she's so able to win off that. But she is one of those. She's always kind of thereabouts rather than there. But yeah, she's flat. She's probably a flashing horse because she's so grey and stands out. But yeah, hopefully she can stay on all 4 feet this time coming out the stall.
I was going to say, fingers crossed. Obviously, comes with the health hazard, but hopefully it just finally drops for her tomorrow, or at least she runs well enough. Lovely, thank you for that. That's brilliant. Honestly, fantastic. So the next little bit we normally do is we normally ask the jockey guests if they could give us 1 or 2 horses to follow. It could be one we haven't seen, or one that you're looking forward to ride, or a couple that are coming up. Have you managed to get a couple for us?
Look, I've said it a few times. My horse to follow would be Spirit of Acklam. I think he's a very classy colt. I'd put a line through his run at Newbury. There's obviously something amiss, and obviously, we've not ran him for a bit. We've kind of given him a bit of time off, get him once over by the vets. Look, he hung so badly right-handed that wasn't him at all. But his other wins, he's done so well. Obviously, he won at Ayr end of last season, and then first run of the season at Ripon. He won quite nicely. Look, there wasn't much in the race, but he's just so laid back. He does just everything in his stride. So, and when he comes back and when he next runs, I think, I would say for the rest of the season, he's so classy and, he's so flashy as well, like that. He just stands out. So he would definitely be always my one that I'd say would be one to follow. Do I have any more? I'm trying to think of anything else in the yard that
anything that pops into the mind.
We have got a filly, actually. I don't ride her, but a filly called Glorious Kitty. Actually, the Park owner, and we'd not long got it from the Breeze Up sales, and she ran at York in the 5 furlong race. I think she'll be better at 6, but she did have that speed. She had that bit of a lull, and then she stayed on again. Look, she's done everything right. Sometimes Breeze Up horses can be quite revved up, and you have to kind of get them settled into a routine. But she seems to be doing everything right. Billy rides that. So whether she heads to Ascot, she might do. Look, she been thrown in at the deep end, but you've got to try it, haven't you? We were impressed in the listed race at York with her. So and I'm trying to think if we've got any more 2-year-olds that haven't appeared yet. Quite a lot of ours like a trip, so that it's probably ones to see later in time. There is a horse. It's actually, I don't know if it's been named yet. A Piece of Magic by our dad. He's actually half brother to Where's Jeff, who's won a lot of times for us. Maybe he might be a kind of a 3-year-old horse, but he seems to be doing everything right. Kind of got that little bit of a speed from the our dad. But with a point-to-point mare, so it's kind of finding out what trip did want. But like I say, he seems to be doing everything right now. Don't think he's been named yet. It might have just been named if it has, but they would probably be my 3.
Fantastic. I mean, I'll be honest with you, a little personal stuff for me, but you say Glorious Kitty. Did you say it was Billy that rides her?
Yeah, Billy Garrity rides her, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's really going off on a tangent, but my grandma actually used to call my mum daughter Kitty, and my granddad would call Bill. So I'm basically going to back that horse blind from now on. So yeah, that's the little story behind that. So thank you for that. But yeah,
it's
thank you.
Nice to have a little link to a horse. I think
you were saying that, and I'm thinking, I can't believe this is all like clicking in my head. So yeah, blind back in. Thank you very much. The new favourite horse. Right. Well, thanks for that. That's brilliant. Love them. We'll keep an eye out for them. So the last sort of section we do, I'm going to start with you, Joe. Number 2 is we like to throw a little eye catcher in. Have you managed to think of one for the viewers?
I have, mate. It was at Haydock in the 225 called Knightswood. Come out of stall 1 very slow. If you watch the race back, you'll see he broke very slow, got hustled along, got a nice position to be fair, but was just caught Keen on the inside. Keen for like the first probably 3 furlongs. Coming round the bend, had a brilliant position. They all moved over at the rail, got caught in amongst it all, got badly hampered, and sort of flew home. If you watch the race, you'll see never really got going until a line, to be honest. Got beat by a length, must have made 2 lengths up in the last sort of 100 yards. Not sure how much the horse was put up, but definitely one I'll be looking at next time, 100%. Knightswood, ran at Haydock on Saturday at 225.
Fantastic. Rich, your eye catcher of the week.
So mine's actually from the same yard, Charlie Johnston, running the Queen of Pride race called, one second, where's it gone? Madame Ambassador. Finished 5th, but was slowly away. And if you rewatch the end of that race, it comes like a train. I mean, wasn't probably going to reach the winner, but she put some yards in the last furlong, and I say if she reran the race, she'd definitely be a lot closer, maybe second if that. But yeah, I definitely think she's one to follow, and there's definitely a race in her that she's going to win.
Fantastic. And mine is the Grey Lass tomorrow. Make sure you're back. Hopefully she flies out them gates, normally joking. But yeah, I will be back in. Mine is a horse that actually finished second to a horse that I put up the other day. John L. Sullivan really liked the horse, but the horse I'm putting up as an eye catcher is the one in second called Mist Rolling In for Declan O'Carroll. Got quite well backed on the day. took a little bit of sort of conjoling along, a little bit off the bridle early, but stayed on really well, really strong to come second. Is off a lowly mark of 52. The winner's off 59, but he'll be in I think he'll be in the 70s. That John Elsullivan, I think he won that. Then he might not, but missed rolling in. I quite like the look of that one. The way it finished was really strong, so I'll go with that one. And that's it for the show. So, as we always say, thank you everybody for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe. Joe Mason, thank you for coming on and giving us your time. We really do appreciate it. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Yes, of course.
Fantastic. Well, like I say, we're getting really well supported by the jockeys. So, I sound like a broken record, but hopefully we haven't fanboyed you too much, and we do appreciate you giving up your time.
No
Thanks again, and good luck for the rest of the season. Hopefully, you have a few more winners to add to that tally, that impressive tally. Rich and Joe, obviously, Royal Ascot next week. We're going to have the announcements of the shows. You boys looking forward to that to finish us off?
Come on, Rich.
Yeah, I like Royal Ascot. It's very competitive. I like the King Stand, now named King Charles III, I think it's called now. Probably the race of the year for me. But yeah, it's going to be good. Like I say, thanks for Joe for coming on. It's always great to get the insight of a jockey rather than us three clowns pretending like we're rambling on that we know what we're on about. But no, it's been great.
Getting all the sexes wrong and the names wrong, It's great.
Names, sex horses, yeah. Proper Mickey Mouse show, isn't it?
I know. But Joe, finish it off, mate.
No, brilliant. Like I say, it was good to be back. Straight back into it, straight to Windsor Monday, and then Ascot Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I can't wait.
Not too much time off,
No, I can't wait. So yeah, brilliant, and yeah, thanks for coming on, Joe. I might see you. Well, I will see. I'll shout you Friday anyway. At York. So yeah, brilliant. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for the insight. Like Rich said, it's brilliant to hear the insight of a jockey. And yeah, can't wait to kick on for Ascot now.
Fantastic. Well, that's us. As I say, we're fans first and foremost, so it's been a great show once again. Hopefully you lot have all enjoyed listening to us all or watching. Like I say, we'll have the Royal Ascot shows up later next week, and like and subscribe to the show. Thank you again, Joe. Thanks, lads, and we'll see you again next time. Thank you, and goodbye.
See you later, team.
Cheers.
Thank you.